So we hit 25,000 subscribers a little while ago. Not too long ago, but still, I feel like this video is a little later than I initially wanted it, but still, 25,000 subscribers is an incredible milestone. It's one that, on one hand, I didn't think I would ever hit, but then on the other, I thought I would. It's been an interesting ride doing YouTube over the few years that I've really been attempting YouTube in general, because I knew sometime this year I was going to hit it, and I knew in the middle of last year I was going to hit it, but before that, a pipe dream of even 1,000 to 10,000 is something that you just don't expect, but once the momentum starts going, you kind of assume maybe you could do something with this, and then you get Corona, and it delays a bunch of anime, and it limits how much you can make, but still, it doesn't feel like the channel's slowing down. I'm still gaining a lot of subscribers, and sometimes I feel like I'm gaining more than I deserve, because I'm like, what did I make recently that warrants close to 2,000 in a month? It's an odd feeling. It's something that, just YouTube in general, it's an odd feeling where there's ups, there's downs, there's going to be highs and lows, but I think the trick with YouTube is just to do what you want to do, and whatever happens is going to happen. It's very easy to see a good paycheck once every in a while, and you're saying, oh, I should just keep making content like this. And then you chase that, and then the paycheck goes down, because honestly, it wasn't necessarily the content, it was just a stroke of good luck with how it was promoted and things like that. It's very easy to get lost in numbers, and that's one thing I've always tried to avoid. I don't ignore the numbers, I do focus on them, but I don't get lost in thought and dictate my content around the numbers. I don't make reviews simply because I know this is a popular anime. If I'm making a review on something, it means I enjoy it to some degree. I do avoid making videos on things I don't like because I don't get any enjoyment out of just criticizing things I don't like because I try to just wash it away from my mind. There's tons of people who say that is no longer a review because you're only reviewing things that you enjoy, but no, a review is literally an explanation on why you feel a certain way, whether that's positive or negative. If I had a lot of enjoyment for just shitting on things, which I technically do, just not to the same degree that I do with in terms of like analytical, like actual deep diving or just discussing things in an enjoyable fashion, I would dictate my channel around shitting on things if that's what I enjoyed. I just simply don't, and I have no issues with people who do that. I mean, some of my favorite content creators literally only make videos trashing on things in a comedic fashion, and I find it incredibly interesting. But I just try to do my own thing around here, and I think that's pretty apparent to anyone who watches the channel. I do not follow trends in the slightest. Everything about my channel, from thumbnail format to the way I structure titles, basically everything avoids clickbait to the maximum potential. I'm not going to be around here saying like, oh, I'm not going to try to make an appealing thumbnail. I will, but I'm not going to spoil you with my thumbnail. I'm going to make an appealing title, but I'm not going to spoil you in the title. There's just so many trends that people do from small to large creators alike, like avoiding putting review in your title, because if you only have the episode number, people will assume they're going to click on the episode, which will get you more views. That's simply why people do it, and a lot of people skate around that fact, but that's simply why they do it. And those who admit to it, I have no issues with, because you're admitting what you're doing. But there's a lot of people who, for a while, would use reviews or reactions or whatever it is, but then just like, oh, if we limit what we say and make it look like a full episode, more people are going to click on this. It's not what I do around here. I'm very transparent. I say exactly what you're getting into. It's in the thumbnail, it's in the title. If you click thinking otherwise, that's on you for not knowing how to read and use your eyes properly. That's, I think, the thing I'm most proud about with this channel and what I've been able to form is, sure, everyone when they're starting out on YouTube, they are a little generic and some more than others, but once you find your groove, if you really find that groove, you can truly become your own channel. And the way I view my channel is I view myself as a variety creator for anime content. I do episodics, I do deep dive analysis and deep dive full reviews, I do podcasts, things like that. I got a show called Season Roundup, which is kind of like a compilation mini review of everything I watch in a season. I do pretty much everything that I want to do, and anytime I get people saying, oh, you should do live reactions or this or that, I say no, because that's not what I want to do. I think a lot of times creators get lost in trying to please the fans more so than pleasing themselves, but if you build a community that recognizes that you're happy with your own content, I think it goes a lot further in the future, because honestly, the past year, I've done amazing financially on YouTube, like more so than I thought possible for a channel my size. And I've at no point tried to be successful. I've literally just made content that seems appealing to me. Sure, there's been from time to time, I stopped doing a series of reviews because it's like, if 200 people are watching it and it takes me 2 to 3 hours out of my week every week, like, I would rather focus on something I enjoy that will also get me more views. Like, I'm not going to say don't do that, because of course I do, because I'm not an idiot. I mean, I don't have unlimited amount of time. I'm going to do things that is going to please me, but also show some success and grow the channel along in the process. And obviously, the longer I do this and the more successful I get, it's probably going to be more like that, where I'm like, okay, yo, I'm still going to have a series or two every so often that's just for me, but I like pretty much every style of anime, so it's just very easy for me to talk about the popular things while also still really enjoying it in the process. It's not like I'm up here going like, okay, new Sword Art Online season, I'm going to milk that for all the views. Like, I kind of enjoy it, but it's just something I enjoy in my own time. I don't need the views for that. A lot of people, they will. And that's something that I'm very proud about with why I'm at 25,000, is I actually think I deserve it. And that's a weird thing to admit. It seems egotistical, but honestly, it just feels good. It feels like I worked really hard over the years, and it feels like it's kind of paying off, and that's a really fun feeling. Like, I have no idea how long it's going to take for 50,000. I really don't. With a channel at my size, sometimes you can blow up overnight, sometimes it can be a slow grind. I've always said I've kind of liked the slow grind aspect because it never feels like you just get this like a million eyes at once, like overnight. Rather, you kind of build up to it, so it kind of builds your resistance online, sort of a situation. All I know is, like, when a video goes viral or just something does really, really well, I just kind of look at it. I don't get scared. I'm just like, huh, I never thought that would be possible. That Beastars video I released at the beginning of the year, that shit did wonders for the channel, and it's still doing wonders for the channel, and it feels good because a lot of times the videos that get popular on a channel, you're kind of like, oh, I wish it would have been this video. I put a lot of work into it. Beastars is one of the hardest videos I've ever crafted, and I firmly believe is going to be my best video on my channel for many years to come. So for that to be my most successful video and still growing to this day makes me really, really happy. And I think that's a big reason why I'm really like confident saying I think I deserve 25,000, because holy shit did it take me a while to ever have that level of success on a video. And I think, you know, the long work and payoff is much better, because I never wanted to be a channel that blew up overnight. I wanted to like feel like I had to earn it. I had to prove to myself that, hey, you know, this content's fine, but is this really what you want to be looked at? No. That's why I remake a lot of old videos, because I'm like, I'm so much better than where I was 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. That's something that I just try to do. I just try to have fun on my channel. Thinking about 25,000, it's so weird. I mean, there's been so many points throughout my kind of quote-unquote YouTube career where I've considered stopping, because I'm like, I mean, is this really what I want to do? Like, I enjoy it, but like, I'm not going to have the same level of success as a lot of these six-figure channels, and if not million sub channels. But at the same time, I've had some great support along the way that's really encouraged me to continue. One of the biggest is my good friend Hsieh, who, holy shit, if it wasn't for her, about a year ago, I probably would have not been doing YouTube. But I was like, oh, kind of opened my eyes that there's a lot more silent support, which is something that I always encourage. Like, even if like you don't comment that much or you don't like the videos as much, but you still enjoy the content, honestly, even if you just say great video, or you enjoyed the video, it does go a long way, because there's a lot of people, like 90% of the people who watch a video, they don't engage with it despite liking the content. Me, I'm the type of person who likes and will do everything I can to promote the video if I enjoy the creator. That's just who I am. It's not even about like getting the engagement up, it's simply like comments are my favorite part of YouTube. And yeah, I've been a little slower on responding to some just because I now have a life, which is a fun feeling, I have to say. But I still read all my comments, and I still get around to hearting them and replying to them as much as possible. That's my favorite part of doing YouTube. If YouTube didn't have comments, I would enjoy it a lot less. Like, honestly, that's how I feel. So I highly encourage it. I mean, you don't have to do it every time, but like, if you do enjoy the content, a little like, hey, I enjoy your channel a lot, it goes a long way to perk up my mood, especially when I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it feels like a lot of people aren't necessarily talking about the video, but more so the content. And I always do encourage talking about the content, but it does go a long way for moral support, because YouTube is a very lonely job. It really, really is, which is why I've kind of come to the realization that rather than just being so dedicated to YouTube, which is what I did for a while, instead, I'm going to be dedicated to myself. And if something comes out on a Sunday and I'm not going to get around to it till Monday or Tuesday, I'm fine with that now. I used to be very against that. I'm fine with it now, because it's better for your mental health. It's better for your just happiness in general to do things at your own pace while still respecting your community in the process and not leaving them hanging. That's why I always say, like, if videos aren't coming out, I'll post on Twitter, things like that. That's pretty much why I encourage following my Twitter, because I will keep people updated on that. It's just something that's interesting to me, and I mean, people like Hsieh have been a huge supporter of like encouraging me to continue, which is great. My amazing girlfriend Ariel has been the biggest support I've ever had in my life in general, and has been like just such an encouragement to keep pushing on and just being a great person. And I can't thank both of them enough. And it's just interesting to see where I'm at YouTube and just in life in general. 2020 is without a doubt in my mind one of the worst, by an objective standards, worst years in recent memory. But for me, 2020 has honestly been the best year of my life. It's an odd feeling, but I'm very happy to say that. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see where the channel goes. I'm just gonna keep doing me. Maybe some seasons I'll have less videos than others, but I'm still gonna keep making anime content at my own pace, in my own way. I do not give a shit about trends. I don't even watch much anime content in general. I make the content I want to make, and if people like that, that's cool. If not, that's also totally acceptable. I can't thank everyone enough for 25,000. It's insane. I can't believe how quickly we hit it, and not to mention, like, we're already getting close to 26,000. It's like, it's a weird feeling. It really, really is, but it feels good to kind of sit back, look at my years of hard work, and say, you know what? I'm okay saying I deserve this. And it sounds egotistical, but you know what? For years, I've said I didn't deserve any of the success I had, so I'm gonna give me this one, because I think it's the B-stars that really proved it to me. I was like, that's a damn good video, and I feel like my episodics really are my own style and things like that, so I think I found my groove. I really do, and I'm only just gonna continue to try to improve my craft over the years, and it'll be interesting to see where we go in 2020 in general, and just what this year's gonna look like. But thank you again. 25,000 is insane, and I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you, whether you love me or hate me. If you stuck around, that encouragement, that engagement, it goes a long way, and thank you, seriously. And I never will take this for granted, and I'm always going to make sure that the community that follows me is going to feel like I engage with them, and I never give up on them like most channels who heart or comment on 1 or 2 comments and say, oh, that's all I need to do. That's not going to be me. I'm going to keep responding to comments. Obviously, the more comments I get, the harder it is to respond to everyone, but I'm still going to try to be someone who you can look at and say, hey, he actually still engages with his comment section, even though he's this large of a creator, and that's something I'm going to stand by for as long as I do YouTube. So thank you again, and can't wait to see where 2020 is going to take us.